Hi everyone, Keegan here. Thank you for joining us for episode 21. If you aren't following us on social media, you might not know that we hit the 1,000 downloads milestone. Now that may not seem like a huge number in comparison to a lot of other podcasts, but it's still one that we are really proud to have hit. We try really hard to make Fiction First something that we can be proud of. So thank you to everyone who has helped us and supported us along the way. In honor of this, we're going to be holding a giveaway for some nice polyhedral dice as well as a dice vault on our Twitter account. So check us out at Fiction First RPG on Twitter. If you feel like throwing us a little extra support, leave us a good review on iTunes. That really helps us a lot with getting visibility on those charts. And before we get into the episode, I just want to make an announcement about an upcoming change to our release schedule. For the last 5 months, we've been releasing episodes every week. Going forward, we will be releasing episodes every other week. Release day will still be Tuesday, so that means that the next episode, episode 22, will be up on May 28th. We're making this change for 2 reasons. One is to provide better content. Not only will the extra time allow some more opportunity to make the audio better, it will also help with the pacing. We won't be forced to cut a recording session into 4 episodes, when the pacing would be much better done in 2 or 3. Secondly, it's to provide us some extra breathing room to expand our stories into new video and live stream formats, as well as collaborate more with other storytellers. More details to come on all that, but I'm very excited about what we can do with these new opportunities. And speaking of exciting, episodes 21 and 22 will wrap up the Jurassic Park mystery, and I'm super stoked for you to hear them. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. Previously on Fiction First, the crew of If It's Mysteries found themselves being chased out of Cillian Davidalis' manor after their confrontational line of questioning was deemed improper and the evidence of Paxton's basement infiltration came to light. Cillian bears what is called the Cerberus dragon mark, Cerberus being the name of one of the 3 progenitor dragons of myth, whose body was transformed to constitute the sky above. This full-body Cerberus dragon mark grants Cillian a kind of power beyond all others in his house. And in his rage, he uses this power to exert control over all of his aberrant experiments at once, turning Lil Paxton feral and bringing in Cece, swooping down on a pair of recently acquired bat wings, enthralled and ready to pounce on his command. The Inquisitives decided to flee, but where will they go with Cece and Cillian on their tail, and what other horrors await in this monstrous menagerie? You all push against that revolving door, and with all of your strength, with the 5 of you there pushing against it, it rotates and pushes right through, and you kind of stumble back into the clearing outside of the wall of Cillian's enclave. It's kind of a pretty open field, open clearing for a bit, but the edge of the King's Forest is in sight, not too far away.
Yes, Ganesh, you gotta hide us in the forest. We gotta go.
We can certainly try that. Let's go.
All right.
So that's the plan, is to run into the forest and hide there?
For now, yeah.
I assume they know the forest pretty well.
For sure. So you all start running in there, and Paxton, the whole way, you just have this, like, piercing pain into your leg on the inside of your coat, where little Paxton is just, he's like, you look down into your inside of the coat, and he keeps, like, bringing his arm up and licking the gland on his arm, and then just biting you again.
Why do you
Stop it, you little jerk!
Why do you still have him?
Because he's important to me.
He's envenomating you.
What? What does that mean? I love him.
All right, and you all get into the tree line and start running and bursting into the forest. And what do you do there?
First thing, I would like to take some sort of a bag and put little Paxton in it.
Yeah, I grab him by the scruff of his neck and like take him out of my jacket so he quits biting me.
Has to go to timeout.
Yeah.
Right, and the demeanor in Lil Paxton has totally changed. He was very straightforward and very calm most of the time, but now he's just kind of rabid.
Is he still talking?
No, he's not at all.
No?
He's
Not like
talking.
he's not like screaming obscenities.
Yeah.
No, Pax, stop it. Do we have a bag? Do we have a
Yeah,
sack?
you
Sure.
brought a sack with you. Yeah. So you toss him in the bag and then just
We give him the sack.
and he just bounces around in there, just
Yeah.
hyperactively going all around.
Maybe you should hold on to that, Francis.
Yeah, but why don't you give me that? I'll put it in one of my trench coat pockets.
Oh, be careful with him.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So while he's in the bag, he's effectively pretty contained.
You know what I just thought of though? You should have called him Lil Romeo because you could have been Master P.
What?
Wow.
I don't even understand that reference.
Lil Romeo's dad was Master P.
Yeah, make him say, "Oh, na 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 na."
I got it. That was just so random.
Just popped in my head.
Wow.
Missed opportunity.
After you get Lil Paxton into the bag, Kinesia will say, I think there's a cave system not far from here. We can go there real quickly if you want to.
What kind of forest is this?
It's a big forest.
A forest with caves.
Okay.
All right, and then we need to plan our next move because I've got a funny feeling. He seemed pretty pissed. I don't think this is going to end soon.
For sure. Yeah. So she leads you, and it's not like a mountain in the middle of the forest, but there is just like a sloped downwards into a small like cave system that was burrowed by some sort of creature long ago. It's not massive, but you can kind of hunch over a little bit to get in there and crawl down. So you're all there in the dark. Even the forest itself is just dark. The tree cover is very harsh. So you're there in the dark with Kinesh and Finn and Lil Paxton there just rattling around in the bag. What do you want to do?
Uncle Frank, I don't feel so good. Like, I got the sweats and like my conditioning's normally pretty good. Like I trained most days for lacrosse and I'm feeling pretty winded right now.
Yeah, you're looking a little pale, buddy. Let me come here. Let me take a look at you. I'm gonna do medic.
What does medic do again? Because basically right now Paxton is operating with a -1 ongoing for his moves until the poison is cleared or it fades away.
Is this a paralysis poison?
No,
Okay.
you just feel sluggish and the pain in your leg is going to hamper you.
It says you have a full first aid kit and the training to heal people. When you do first aid, roll plus cool, etc. So like,
okay, it can either be a medic roll or it could just be a straight act under pressure roll. Cause like I don't know if the medic outcomes say like remove an effect or something like that. It could just be act under pressure to do whatever medical treatment you need, because that still takes your cool.
Yeah, it just stabilized and healed. So I don't know.
Yeah, so it'd just be a regular act under pressure. Okay. So what is Frank doing to solve
Frank's
this?
Frank's gonna suck that venom
I
out.
was gonna say it. I figured it. You'd have to get it out some way. So
we're gonna get real familial.
Uncle Frank, what are you doing?
Yeah,
give me your leg.
So Paxton sits down and
give me your leg,
and you see this section of his athletic shorts that have just been like torn, and there's just this wound on the outside of his leg there. So
yeah,
go ahead and roll to act under pressure.
All right. That is a 10.
Okay,
nice.
Full success. So Frank is able to suck out the poison,
siphoning it like gas.
Yeah, yeah.
And this takes a little bit of time, maybe 10 or so minutes to fully treat Paxton and make sure that he's okay and to verify. But yes, the poison has been cleared from you.
Ugh, that was gross, and I drink some gross stuff. That was nasty. Feeling better? How's your heart rate?
I feel better, yeah, but not like okay.
Yeah,
that's funny because I'm feeling worse having just witnessed that.
Yeah, here's your leg back, by the way.
Thank you.
Kinesis pipes up says, Frank, one of us could have done that. I mean, we're trained in healing and in herbalism and the like.
It's a family thing. It's a family matter.
Okay, I understand. And also you see kind of in the back of this like dimly lit cave that Lil Paxton's bag has stopped shaking violently, has gone totally still.
Oh crap, did I forget to put air holes in that bag?
Uncle Frank, have you killed my baby monkey?
Hold on, no, hold on, let me just...
From inside the bag you hear, It's all right. It's all right. I'm fine now. I promise. I'm all good. I'm back to normal now.
This could be a trap.
Is
he lying? I don't know if my power works on monkeys or on Loris's, but
He's lying.
Hey, little Paxton.
Do not trust that Loris.
Why did you bite me?
And maybe because there's no way that Howland could possibly like physically tell whether he's lying. Like there's no like physical. You can't see him. He's in a bag and stuff like that. But you just know you don't trust him. And it's just like he's clearly lying. But
I walk over to the bag
okay.
I'm gonna lift the bag up.
Do not open that bag, Paxton.
I'm not. I just want to check on him, see how he's doing.
He's clearly alive, and that's good enough. Do not open that bag.
Can you breathe in there, little Paxton?
I can breathe. They're gonna find you.
Why are they looking for me?
Master Cillian's very upset with you.
Have you been present for the rest of
Me specifically?
Well, with all of you.
Is he communicating with you like through his symbol? Or you just get a feeling that he's angry?
I get orders, and he can communicate, but he is not right now.
He can't like see through your eyes, though, right?
He isn't right now.
Whoa.
Yes, you stay in the bag, little Loris.
He's busy with the others.
Oh, that's creepy.
All right.
Little Paxton, I love you, but I'm going to need you to stay in timeout right now because you're talking a lot of scary stuff.
Little Paxton just goes quiet. He just has resigned himself to his fate in this bag.
To be in a bag.
and isn't trying to get out at the moment until anything changes.
Kinesh.
Yes?
Clearly, those blood sacrifices are part of what he's doing for these animals. Where it seems like we've solved that part of the case.
Perhaps. I don't think that we found any clear proof of that.
I mean, maybe you're new to this, and you spent a lot of time in the forest, but that guy was pretty guilty. Listen to Howland. He knows.
I mean, Frank, I do agree that he's guilty. He clearly stole the raptor. I'm still not sure about the blood sacrifices.
We don't have definitive proof that he is. However, the types of alterations that he's done on these creatures, especially on that raptor, is not something that you can do with simple mage breeding. Mage breeding takes generations, and
this has been a matter of
days to a week,
yes.
as far as we know. So these aberrant alterations, perhaps that they were the result of some sort of rituals, but we don't know for sure yet.
I was just gonna say, what are we concerned about? Because it seems like we kind of got a guy. We got a suspect.
We have a suspect. I'm looking. I guess what I'm saying is, if we go to the king with this, will we have some sort of protection for a bit? Because right now I'm feeling pretty vulnerable.
I think in the immediate essence, we need to get to the Boromar stables. I don't know. I don't know exactly how this works, but perhaps there's something in the bond that the raptor shared with that other halfling Rain that, if it sees him, will dissuade it from attacking us.
You think we can get like other raptors to back us up?
Perhaps.
Maybe that bond, those weird experiments, that's why he's getting sick.
Could be.
That demon essence.
I really don't know much about this sort of thing, but it's the best that I've got at the moment.
Uncle Frank, can your dragon mark cancel out another dragon mark? Do they fight each other?
No, unfortunately. I'm not just gonna back into him with my tramp stamp of a dragon mark.
I was just wondering if like their energies like conflicted with one another.
Well,
I don't really understand how they work.
No.
Well, for starters, like his dragon mark is like fully pro sky jousting, and mine is like single A ball.
Single A jousting.
Single A jousting. Like not a real league, more like a hobby.
Oh, that's a shame. Okay,
unfortunately.
No, that's fine.
If he wants to arm wrestle, though, I'll rip his arms off.
Yeah.
All right. So,
hey, if you remove someone's dragon mark from their body, does it still work?
are you planning on flaying him alive?
I'm just saying, if you cut it off, or if Uncle Frank ripped his arm off,
it's full body.
I didn't see that. I didn't see his full body. I'm sorry.
Yeah, did you see him naked?
I was too busy being bitten by a monkey.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't see
Like
literally the whole thing crawl across his body, but you saw it on like all of his limbs and up on his neck, and you would recognize it as such for sure. And while you're all talking about this and deciding to go towards the stables, From the outside of the cave, you hear this giggling. This guttural, feral, hyena-like giggling.
Well, I don't like that one bit.
Echoing outside of the cave.
Everybody, quiet. Kinesh, is that a normal animal sound for the area?
There's no hyenas in this forest, no.
Are we sure it's hyenas?
It sounds like a hyena, and it sounds a lot like the hyena that Paxton ran into in the basement when he was in there. There was a hyena in the cage.
It sounds like the hyena I ran into in the basement.
Yeah, it's either a hyena or someone's doing a really great stand-up secret show out there.
Hey.
I mean, there are also gnolls, but there's none anywhere near around this forest.
Regular gnolls?
Yeah, regular gnolls.
Hey,
He said he didn't dabble in humanoids.
I want to grab the bag that little Paxton is in and shake him to wake him up.
Like, whoa.
Hey, little Paxton, are those hyenas coming after us?
I'm not telling you anything, scum.
Whoa, language, young man.
All right, well, they can probably find us here either way, smell and all that. So, Kinej, can you find us the quickest route through the forest to the Boromar Enclave?
We can. It's going to be a bit of a trek through the forest. It'd be a bit easier if we were to go on the outside of it. Trekking through is going to be some pretty dense forest.
Well, in your opinion, what would be safer?
Well, if we can stay inside here, we should be relatively safe from the raptor. So I guess that we can stay in here, if that's all right with you.
Yeah,
all.
this is a good home. We should just stay here forever. I like that. I call dibs on that part of the cave. I'm just gonna set up and just hang out here for a bit.
Francis Turner, you never took me for a coward. Or I never took you for a coward, rather.
Yeah. Listen, that raptor was scary.
Just so you know, I think in the winter the owlbears do kind of come in here and hibernate in these caves, so I don't know if we could stay here forever.
It's summer. We got a few months.
Yeah.
Look, again, the best thing I can think of is that getting to rain may spark something with that raptor and stop whatever control that Cillian has over it. And if anyone has any other suggestions, then I'm all ears, but that's the best I've got.
I'm normally against murder, but I think in this case, we might have to do a murder.
To whom?
Murder who?
The Dragon Mark guy, the Crocodile Dundee. From the movie, from the play Crocodile Dundee.
As you're all kind of debating these different options, the giggling gets closer. And at that point, Finn kind of crawls up to the top of the entrance and says, "Let's go."
A man of action.
Well, that's that.
All right, if Finn says, let's go.
Says, "I'll lead us to the stable." And he starts to move out into the forest.
I've got you 6.
I'm behind him.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I've got his 6.
That one's freaking scared. He's like, all right, let's do it.
Sling that bag with little Paxton over my shoulder like a rucksack.
So you all head out into the forest, and as Kinesh says, it is pretty thick in the direction that you're going through. Some ridges that you're climbing over as Finn is leading the way, and Finn and Kinej are understandably more adapted to this and more proficient at trekking through the forest.
Oh, I'm
than
so out of my element.
a couple of city slickers kind of traipsing up these hills.
Yeah, I'm walking like I'm wearing snowshoes. Just like big giant steps.
Yeah. And as you're walking through, you see hints of normal wildlife within the forest, and the kind of the scope and the general aesthetic of this forest is beautiful. It is well kept. It has been understandably untouched for a very long time. But as you're walking through and you're starting to sweat, and it's still kind of in the middle of the day right now, and you're climbing through, you do again start to hear that giggling behind you, getting closer and closer. And I think how when you kind of look back and you see this hyena stalking through the trees behind you.
Why am I at the back?
I think it made sense.
Because I'm the least physically capable.
Yeah. What do you do?
So I can see it?
Yeah, you see it.
Oh, boy.
It's kind of like where you see it kind of like walking through a couple of the bushes, and then you kind of see its eyes and the hair on its back in between the bushes and the trees.
About how close to me is it?
It's probably the point where you're like, I mean, let's just say 20, 30 feet. Probably the point where you're just like, oh, it's here.
Okay.
Pretty much. But before it's too close to really hurt you.
I'm going to try to throw a throwing knife at its
Okie dokie.
leg.
You gonna let the rest of the group know that you're fighting a hyena?
I'm just going to say, it's here!
Okay, cool. Go for it. Yeah, so go ahead and roll to kick some ass.
Which I'm so good at.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a 6.
Oh, boy.
Ow!
So that's a total failure.
Oh, you have a negative to you?
Yeah, man. I'm not a fighter.
Yeah, so I think as Howland kind of turns back and kind of hurriedly and nervous and he's tired and he's frightened
so
right
tired.
now. He kind of like
all of this nature.
He takes a dagger out and throws it, and it just kind of just wings right and just scatters off into the bushes nearby.
It doesn't even like hit a tree.
No, it just kind of limply falls into some brush. But at that point, the hyena, kind of startled by that action, starts to run towards Howin. And as it's running towards him, you all kind of see, but Howin definitely sees, the giggling starts to get louder and louder. As you see on its fur, pieces of its torso kind of open up, and you see more mouths start to appear on the torso, the legs, and the neck. And they all have these terribly sharp teeth, and they all start shaking and quivering and laughing as well. I need you to make a act under pressure roll.
That's horrifying.
Okay,
Well, actually, hold on. Actually, sorry. You start to hear that laughter, and the laughter, this gibbering, mouthing laughter starts to pour into your ears, and you are frozen right now.
So
that was a full 6. That was a full failure. You're terrible. You're frozen right now. You'll have to make an act under pressure roll if you want to do anything.
Frank, when he turned around and heard I'm here, he would like to knock Howin out of the way.
Okay.
If possible.
So that would be protect someone, right?
Yeah. That would be his first instinct. He knows Howin is not a fighter.
Is made of glass.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a roll for him. He gets hit. He gets kind of seized up and paralyzed. You can push him out of the way of it. He's still going to be paralyzed.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I just want to
Totally.
I want to take the hyena on, not Howin.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's totally fine. Yeah. So you charge in there. You kind of just what do you do? Just push him off into the bushes nearby.
Just sling him.
Yeah. And the whole time
battle rage for Frank. He just slings out of the way.
Yeah.
I'm not a big guy.
Yeah. So the shot would be that laughter is overcoming Howin, and he's just kind of frozen in the fear across his face as the hyena is still running towards him with all these terrible mouths laughing, and then just right at the last second, Frank pushes him out of the way into the bushes. And then what do you do?
I'm going to take the momentum of the hyena and try and turn with it and grab it and sling it.
You can judo throw it?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I want to take its momentum.
Okay.
That's the goal. We'll see if it happens.
Okay.
I just don't think I have time, story-wise, to sling him out of the way and pull a crossbow.
Yeah, no, I love it. Let's just go ahead and roll the kick some ass then.
All right. 8 plus 2, 10. All right.
Okay. That's a 10. Yeah, so you do exactly that. You throw it. Let's say it'll take 1 harm from that throw, and you kind of throw it into the nearby. Where are you throwing it exactly?
I mean, it'd be great if there was a tree it could crash into, but if not, just some bushes. I just want to basically
Okay.
Well, it's a full success, so he chooses another.
Oh yeah, that's true. Actually, thank you for reminding me. Right. Yeah. So you get the 1 extra effect on top of the harm. So I mean, that's basically kind of the extra effect is to force them where you want them.
Yeah.
Which would just be sufficiently away from you so that you
I would force them away from me and Howin.
Yeah.
Maybe more, not towards the rest of the group, not in front of them, but on that side of the group.
Okay. So
that the rest of us who aren't paralyzed with fear can fight him.
Sure. Yeah.
Howin's just on the ground
Yes. You totally you take the momentum, you judo throw it often further down this trail that you're on. At that point, Kinesh and Finth are peppering the ground with arrows trying to hit it, and a couple of them actually hit the hyena in the side, and then it just bursts and starts to run away from you, all kind of at a 90-degree angle. Unless you want to do anything about it, but it runs off into the tree line, and Howin is still currently paralyzed.
Oh boy. I'm going to fireman carry Howin. I'm going to just pick him up. I'm going to go, and I'm going to turn to Kinesh and Finn, and I'm going to say, let's go now. Yeah,
they start running for sure as you're carrying Howin. Cool. Yeah. Paxton, what are you doing in this situation?
I'm still protecting Lil Paxton. He's in the bag on my shoulder, so I kind of watched Frank do his attack thingy, and so he fireman grabbed Uncle Howin, and
that is what happened. Yes,
not your uncle.
And the poison is out of your system. So you're actually probably the only one that can kind of keep up with the Rangers as they're running through. Your conditioning is pretty good, and you got stretched out earlier.
Yeah.
In the day. So you're ready and you're running along with them.
That's continuity of
Uncle
storytelling.
Howard, snap out of it. This is no time to be a coward.
I'm just like on. I feel like my head is like close to one of Frank's ears, and I'm just like, Francis, I hate nature.
Just softly.
Like from Bob's Burgers, Tina's just.
And so for the rest of your trek through the forest, the hyena still follows at a distance. It doesn't make any more attempts to attack you on the way, but it is just going to basically pursue you throughout this unless anyone wants to do something about it. Otherwise, you're going to clear this forest soon.
Yeah, I mean, we could.
I wanna take my lacrosse stick and pick up some rocks and then just chuck some shots at it to see if I can scare it away.
Okay. I think you take some rocks at it, maybe even some like larger kind of branches or something like that. You chuck it at it. It always is going to come back. Time after time, you throw some rocks at it. It doesn't dissuade it enough to leave you alone.
Get out of here! Go on now,
Uncle Frank. I think it's tracking us. I think it's leading the pack.
Really, Kyle? The one time that you're allowed to pant heavily while talking, and you don't do it.
I'm sorry. All right, redo. Yeah. Uncle Frank. I think it's bringing the pack to us. I don't think it's alone.
Wait, how many hyenas did you see down there?
I don't know. It had a lot of mouths. I think each mouth might be a hyena connection. I don't know.
Maybe the other hyenas don't have any mouths. Then that's not too much of a problem.
That'd be actually okay.
Yeah, I wonder how they eat.
And Kyle, just as a reminder for you, just because I've been listening to it, but you might not remember. So what you saw in the basement,
right?
Was the hyena, was a hawk. With many eyes.
Okay.
Or falcon. I don't remember which, either one. Some large bird of prey with a lot of eyes. And a warforged that you threw in the gate.
So was there only one hyena I saw?
Yes.
Oh, cool. So I didn't see any more hyenas, but there could be more. So keep an eye out.
All right.
But watch the skies.
Kanesh, how close are we to the stables?
Well, we've got just a quarter of a mile left, I think. We're very close.
All right. I think we got to take this hyena out before we get to the stable. I take Howland and I take him off my shoulders and I like lean him against a tree. I'm like, all right, just hug this tree for a while.
Well, Finn will stay next to Howland to make sure that he's protected. But otherwise, how do you want to go about this? I can attempt to take point on this if you want, but I can hunt normal creatures, but what it did to Howland and the look of it is not a normal beast.
Yeah, maybe I could be bait.
You want to be bait?
Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of mouths, not a lot of brains. I think we could trick it.
I want to be bait.
You want to be bait?
Yeah, let me be bait.
I
never get to be bait.
All right, that's fair.
Is there anything I can do to like become unparalyzed?
Yeah, as soon as you want to do something, I basically just need an act under pressure roll.
Okay, I'm gonna
I just thought it was funny if you'd be carried for a while,
it was really
or also for you to have a dramatic last second.
That's a 9.
Okay.
Partial courage.
On a 9, you can move, but you can't do much else right now.
Can I speak?
Yeah.
Okay,
you can speak now.
I was say, Paxton, you have that huge sword. I don't know that you should be the bait.
Will you let me borrow that sword?
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
Sweet.
Then never mind. You can be the bait.
Shing.
Okay, so Frank has the cool Brayland War claymore, nice. Or whatever it was.
All right, here's the plan, Howland. You're gonna walk.
I'm Howland.
Yeah, sorry. Here's the plan, Paxton. You're gonna walk back towards the clearing, going, "Oh no, I lost my giant sword," and then you'll trip and fall, and then you'll be on the ground going, "Oh, where?"
So do a Howland impression.
Do we have to convince the hyena that he's lost something and that he's tripped and that he's helpless?
We've got to sell this.
Do we have to sell it?
I took an acting class as an elective.
You haven't seen him. You haven't seen him act yet. That hyena's gonna buy it. That hyena's gonna be like, I've got this guy. He's dead meat.
You can do it. I just don't think it's going to help, but go for it.
I'm telling you, that hyena won't be able to turn away when he sees my boy act.
You have unconventional methods, certainly.
This is how we do things in the city.
I slowly and shakily reach up and hand Finn a card for If It's Mysteries.
Yeah, he solemnly takes it and then looks at it and kind of nods and then puts it in his pocket.
I just again, just very limply just pat him on the thigh where I assume as I can reach, and I'm like, hang on to that.
Yeah, Howland's definitely like, he was hugging the tree paralyzed, and once he could move, he just like turned slowly around and slunk down just like on his back.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, so let's go with this bait routine. So,
Okay.
Paxton, what are you doing exactly?
All right, so I've still got my jacket on. I'm gonna rip the sleeve a little bit to make it look like I'm disheveled. I'm gonna rub some dirt.
The jacket you stole?
Yes, I'm gonna rub some dirt on my face. I gotta get into character a little bit, so I'm rub some dirt on my face. I hit my knee on a tree. So I just have my stick, my lacrosse stick, dragging behind me as I limp through the woods, and as soon as I get to a little clearing, I drop down, sort of like in it's not Predator. What's the movie where he drops down on his knee and he's like, not
where it's raining.
Shawshank?
Tropic Thunder.
No. It's,
Platoon.
Platoon. Yes. Yeah.
So like in Platoon, I drop down and I look like I'm like I'm helpless. Like I can't continue on. And
okay. And so what is Frank doing to prepare?
Frank is just like watching it. A single tear rolls down his eyes. Like he's an artist. He has the soul of an artist. And I hide behind a tree.
Okay, just kind of nearby.
Yeah, I think he's too big for the scrubs.
Yeah,
the shrubbery. He's like behind a tree, just like waiting.
Sure,
the scrubbery.
Behind that thick tree. All right.
Much like TLC, no scrubs.
No scrubs, definitely not.
No scrubs, all shrubs.
Right, don't want no scrubs. Perfect. Yeah. So it is a convincing performance. Maybe more convincing than need be. But as kind of Paxton is kind of wailing and gnashing of teeth in the middle of this clearing, you do see some movement in the bushes and in the plant life around the edge where he is. You can see peaks of the hyena, and then it does start to leap out at Paxton. So, Frank, what do you do?
Yeah, once Frank hears the movement, he's going to rush.
The movement, yeah, and then the laughing and just kind of this cacophonous laughter that's coming from 15 different sources on this creature's body.
So
he's going to say, I've got a joke for you.
So do I get sort of an attack of opportunity since I was acting? I wasn't actually in this load of despair. I
think you were pretty committed to your performance.
Fair enough. I was lost in the moment.
But right now the plan is for Frank to attack, and then we'll see what happens after that. So what are you doing, Frank?
Yeah, I'm gonna rush out and say my cool line.
Yep, got the cool line.
What's your cool line? Yeah,
which was I've got a joke for you.
Okay.
And I've got a second one if I hit him.
Just
wait.
Okay. Man,
waiting with bated breath.
We'll see what the dice allow. So go ahead and roll to kick some ass with this greatsword.
Oh, baby.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
That is a 12.
Woo. All right. Yep, so that's a 10 plus. So Kyle, we wrote the item down on your sheet. What does the sword say? The tags next to it? Or what was the thing we put sword next to?
3 harm, hand messy.
Okay.
And since I had a 10 plus, I'm going to add another harm to that.
Okay. All right.
4 harm.
Yeah. So you kind of bring the sword down. What happens? Describe how you kill this thing, and then give us your good joke.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna straight up slice him in half.
Nice.
Yeah, so it like leaps through the air, this big pounce that it's coming right towards Paxton, and then you just come from like the side and just bisect it.
Yeah, just bisect it from the side, and then I'm gonna look at him split in half, and I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna go, he didn't stick around for the punchline.
You hear Howland from like 30 feet away go, boo.
Yeah, Kanesh is also just looking there, just like shaking her head, kind of incredulous that it worked.
I'm gonna go, because he was laughing a lot. That was, it was, come on.
And then you hear like this deep like as Finn's laughing from the distance. It's like, I got it.
Yeah,
Howard's just looking up at Finn.
That's a good one.
I snap out of my my war memory And I, wow, Uncle Frank, you sliced that thing clean in half.
Yeah, and I'm like looking at the sword. I go, this thing is awesome.
I like that.
Yeah, just be careful.
Imagine what happens if I get a whetstone. I'm going to sharpen this baby up to. I'm going to cut through all the buildings.
Yeah, I think you're going to cut the whetstone in half. You got to be careful with this thing.
This thing is cool.
Yeah, and again, it's just this big gleaming golden like war sword. Pretty much. That's a serious weapon.
Serious business.
Yes. Yeah, and at that point, kind of all the mouths on the edge of the hyena's body start to close and seep back into the fur. It's this hyena that has this reddish skin, and now just it's just bleeding and kind of leaking all over the forest floor into the soil.
Oh, now I feel bad for the freaky hyena.
And at that point, Howin's paralysis fully clears. He's free to act again.
Uncle Howin, you can come out. We took care of the scary thing for you.
Thank you. Also, not your uncle. We need to move.
I'm gonna walk over to Howin and I'm gonna start trying to pick him up again.
Frank, I'm fine.
It'll be faster this way. Just
I think he's fine.
No, Frank is right. It will be faster this way.
Yeah.
All right, Francis, I hop on his back.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
Shortly after you continue to move on and you clear the outer edge of the King's Forest, and the raptors, the Boromar stable is in sight. You see kind of the little couple of sheds and the buildings there, as well as kind of the big net cage that a lot of the raptors were kept in that you were investigating earlier. As you kind of open up to this clearing, and it's maybe towards the end of the afternoon or so by this point, but up in the sky you see it's a bird soaring kind of up above you at a distance, very difficult to see, but it looks like this larger bird of prey. And Paxton, you would probably recognize that's the
Uncle
thing you
Frank,
saw.
Does that bird look like it has more than the normal amount of eyes?
I'm going to be honest with you. From this distance, I can't see any eyes.
It looks weirdly like the bird I saw in that basement.
And as you're running, the bird starts to swoop downwards. And then as you all do see as it passes that it has this row of 8 to 10 eyes down along the side of its head.
Spider bird.
Yeah, Paxton, that's too many eyes.
Yeah, more like spectator bird, as all these eyes detach into their own little stalks and separate from its head and start to look down at you. And this sickly green ray shoots out from one of the eyes down at the ground behind you, kind of just like bursting the soil on the ground behind you as you start to run towards the stable.
Is this a laser bird?
That's a no from me.
Take cover.
We gotta run.
Yeah, just gotta run.
Yeah. So you all make it into the stable, and do you want to go into one of the buildings, probably?
Wherever the administration office is. Got to talk to the manager.
The front desk, sure.
I'm trying to remind myself of everybody's names.
Yeah, there was Rain was the writer, and Rasmus was the
I'm Paxton.
Stable master.
Oh,
Paxton, Frank.
Right. Thank you. Keegan, as everyone else.
Spectator bird. Yes.
Right. So do we see Rasmus in there?
Yeah, he's in there. And you see that he is kind of like getting stuff ready. He has this like wicked spear that he's pulling out back from behind a cabinet that has this big like bone like tip to it. And he looks around and sees you all. Again, he's this halfling and has this big like ceremonial necklace that he wears.
He was the one with the huge necklace.
The leader of this stable.
He's the Flavor Flav of
definitely the Flavor Flav of this
raptor
area.
breeders.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, he turns around and says, "You're here. We were just preparing to go up towards the estate."
Well, step one is make sure we don't get destroyed.
We kind of brought the estate to you, friend.
That's the kind of service you can expect from If It's Mysteries.
I heroically jump off of Frank's back.
He says, "Well, what's coming our way? What are we expecting?"
So, have you ever seen a bird that has many eyes and can shoot laser beams?
Imagine if a beholder and a hawk somehow had a baby.
That sounded like a riddle, Paxton. There's a bird following us that has a bunch of eyes and it shoots lasers.
Is this a riddle, or is this a joke, or is this real?
No, this is quite real.
he says, I guess I'll need to go get the crossbows. Hold on for a second. And he starts to go back into one of the nearby closets and starts like throwing out crossbows and like more spears. and he yells out, it's like, everyone come here quickly. And there's just a couple of people in this enclave or in the stable right now. There's just two other kind of stable hands for the most part. And Rain is still kind of sick over in the corner, like I
was about to ask if Rain was still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive, but he's still kind of in the same position that you left him in, which is just unable to really do anything right now.
Can I go talk to him?
Yeah, sure. While everyone else is kind of getting ready, you can go talk to him, sure. And he's kind of in this bed tossing and turning and has these cloths and these rags with this black like bile on it, and he's sweating profusely. What do you want to do?
I just want to go up to him and take the sweat rag next to him and blot his head to clean it up. And I was like, hey, buddy, we found your raptor. It's safe.
Interesting. Yeah, kind of.
Ish.
Yeah, he didn't know that.
It's still alive.
Yeah, so like he kind of like in his kind of in this like feverish kind of thing he's got going on right now. He kind of like actually like opens his eyes and looks up and he puts his arm on your shoulder and just kind of smiles before he kind of like drifts back off.
Oh man, I was hoping he was gonna give me like its calm word or something.
Safe word?
Yeah, like whatever. You know how like Chris Pratt trains his raptors with the voice commands. Like, what's the stand down command?
Kumquat.
Yeah, nothing quite like that, unfortunately.
Okay, that's okay.
I don't think that.
At least I assured him.
Yeah, I don't think the Bormars trained them like that. But regardless, it is currently under Cillian's persuasion right now, supposedly.
Is Pris Krat still at the stable? Is he?
Oh god,
because Pris Krat was there earlier.
He's working out.
I think that Pris Krat is there. And you actually look out the window and you kind of see him, this ruggedly handsome man with this vest kind of running out. And he's got this crossbow. And he's like shooting up at the bird, and the bird just like brings down this black beam on him and just scorches him off this earth.
No, Pris Krat.
All that's left is a vest.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Rasmus is like, wow, you weren't kidding about that bird, huh?
No, not at all.
He says, well, look, if we can hold here for a little bit, we have some reinforcements on the way. I received a message from Sharn that they were sending some extra help.
Ah, you're welcome.
Uncle Frank, do you think you think we could shoot this bird out of the sky?
Yeah, I'm gonna like I'm just turning into a cheesy 80s action star. I'm gonna cock my crossbow and I'm gonna go,
right.
We can try. And I'm just going to walk to like the front of the door.
Yeah. Kinej and Finn are also like getting like crossbows and like assembling them or like tightening or like fixing the bowstrings and like tossing them to each other. And there's like these other stable hands are getting these crossbows ready.
Yeah, we've got a real dope montage.
We got an arsenal, on.
Yeah. Also like some javelins maybe that they have. So where are you wanting to shoot this from? Do you want to get like a window or just go outside?
Probably better to try from a window first.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So it's at a distance. It's kind of peppering off these rays every once in a while, but it's kind of just circling the area.
I think it would make more sense. Do we have a longbow?
Kinej and
I was trying to think whether they would have a shorter longbow, but yeah, they definitely have a longbow.
Or like maybe in that closet of weapons, he pulls out like a big dusty old longbow.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm like, that one. So, because I just think it would make more sense to try and shoot something from a distance for the longbow.
He looks at the bow. He's like, "You sure? You ever used one of these before?"
I have a war flashback where I'm just trying to string one and just can't.
Where you're blindfolded and you disassemble a longbow and then reassemble it and then take the blindfold off and nod solemnly.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, using a crossbow and a bow are entirely different ordeals.
Oh, yeah,
one you have to train with for a long time.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering if you think Frank was into that kind of thing.
I'm gonna go, you shoot him with the pointy end, right?
Yes.
Oh boy, he tosses you this old dusty bow. Kinej helps you string it and then get it all set, and then she's like, "Make it count, Francis."
Man, we really are turning into a cheesy 80s movie here.
Yeah, all right, I'm gonna give it a go.
Cool. Yeah, so they flip open one of these windows and get it set, and you see it kind of circling above. It's a pretty far shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna yell out. I'm gonna Hey, birdie. Hey, birdie.
I'm just a birdie too.
I'm a birdie too. Yeah, no, but I am gonna be like, I don't know, try and call its attention at least. Maybe to get it to stop, because does it kind of like float when it does its laser thing, or is it bombing us?
It's a bombing run, pretty much. Yeah.
All right.
So it dives down and then swoops back up.
Yeah, it doesn't have to dive that far. But it does lower and then kind of go back up in between.
Okay.
So you get that bow set up.
I'm gonna give it a go.
Since this isn't one of the weapons that you have a part of your sheet, I do want to kind of impose some sort of penalty on this.
I will say I have a sniper rifle.
That was your crossbow.
Options.
That was your bigger crossbow.
That's my 9mm.
I thought you had 2 crossbows.
Well, I don't know.
Kyle.
You have like a long range crossbow.
I've never used my long range thing, which is 4 harm. I've never attempted to use it. So
do you have it marked, or do you just have it as an option?
I have it marked.
Oh,
it's never come up because we've always been in like an alley or like a room.
Okay. That's
so
fine.
It's not like stand 30 feet away, please. I want to use this. Big one.
That's fine. I'm fine with using those tags for this bow. That's fine. Okay, cool. So no penalty on this.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll to kick some ass.
See if I could shake off the rust. That is a 10.
Dang, another 10, man. Yeah,
I've gotten a 10 3 different ways on
yes.
that.
So choose your extra effect on the kick some ass roll.
I want to scare him away a bit. Buy us a little time.
Okay.
With this shot.
So force them where you want, and again, just to get them away from you.
Yeah, maybe force them into more of a reconnaissance so we can wait for that.
Goes to France, and now he's talking about reconnaissance.
Reconnaissance.
Not reconnaissance. Reconnaissance.
They're a different thing.
So that we could buy us some time for those reinforcements.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, it is a serious blow to this hawk
because it's 4 harm. Geez.
Yeah, as like your breath slows down and then just from a super far distance just soars through the air and does that kind of like wibble.
I'll say the camera is definitely like on the arrow.
Follows the arrow the whole time.
I don't even watch it. I turn around, I wink at Paxton.
Wow. And you just from a distance, like you see like it just like it shoots, like it gets hit and then it shoots like one right up into the air as it kind of like starts to like flip over and pivot and start to regain its height, and then it kind of starts to like slowly drift downwards a bit and off into the distance.
Nice. I can't wait for the dice to turn on me and Frank's gonna try and do something cool and just like fall through a well.
Yeah.
Like be trapped in a well.
Exactly. Yeah. So the hawk flees for the time being, and you are left in relative calm.
Rasmus, that should buy us some time.
He's like, oh, I hope it's enough. We're still waiting on some of the, and then as he says that, there's this like bright light that appears in the room. This kind of glowing, basically like a big like sparkler, basically like this fiery popping. As like in this circle in the middle of the room, this first circle of fire spreads out, and then from it appears an individual from some sort of teleporting spell, and it's this elven man with this long black hair and this big curved, pointy flaming electric sword.
Oh god.
And as Allegor Ravenhand kind of strides into the room and says,
"Whoa,
I was told that you needed help."
It's you again.
So are you just like assigned to us, or like what's the deal?